Peace, love, and light. My name is Sophia, and I have a prophetic message. I was writing down the vibe of the day, the daily vibe that I'm doing over on Instagram. I'm going to bring it over to YouTube very shortly. But I was writing this daily vibe down, and I immediately felt this was turning into, I felt it could be turned into a prophetic message. And the daily vibe was about the beginning of the season of karma, and how it's going to show us our behavior, which will enable us to be exactly what we want to be, and remove the pieces of ourselves that are not what we want to be. It's pruning season. So with that being said, God, I asked God, what you got for this? What message do you have for this? And he answered, Exodus. Well, I felt in the book to go to Exodus. And then he said chapter 3. And I read chapter 3. And this is what I came up with so far. It's about you being the person of your achievements. Meaning, be the person who already won. What does that look like? Who is that and how are they? Which is, the message that I gave out earlier. Another perception of the message that I gave out earlier. But specifically, chapter 3, verse 7 through 8. And I got from that, Yahweh knows we are suffering in this place that is so unlike home to us, we cannot get comfortable or be content. The people who tell us what to do are causing us distress, and Yahweh is coming to rescue us and take us to a better place. And then there's verse 9. That says the universe sees the abuse, which is why we are waking up to it today. It's all about enlightenment in this vibe and season. So I go on to continue reading. And it's just, Yahweh giving out directions. He's going to send the Israelites to the land of the pagan gods because it's luxurious. And they're going to leave up out of being suffering. And Yahweh is telling me, hold on, take a point and make it there. Hold on. Chapter 17. Luxury living. And the point that he told me to make was because the luxury living is what is deserved from slaves after all of their hard work. It's their time to live luxuriously. It's just their time. They worked for it, so you are supposed to be able to endure the fruits of your labor. You worked for it, so it's time for you to enjoy your labor. It's time for you to enjoy the effect of what you have done. It is that time. So I was still looking at everything, and I'm like, what is the point? How does this relate to you being the person of your dreams? How does this relate to you being the person that is the achievement? How does this relate to you being that one? And then I'm seeing that, this is the beginning of Moses' story with God. And him coming from Egypt and being an Egyptian child is the prequel. But the beginning of the story starts with Moses' conversation with God. And I can see it from the standpoint of Moses is the achieved one. Because God set him on a mission and he went out and he did it. But God didn't give me chapter 4, 5, 6, 10, 12, or 22. He said chapter 3. So I'm still looking at it and I'm like, Moses is the achieved one, but that's the story going on. Moses is the hesitant one, and he said that's the story of where we are. And that's the point that he wants to make. We are hesitant about achieving the dreams that Yahweh has already planned for us, created us to achieve, and trained us to endure. And he is going to be with us the entire time. Such as, if you know anything about Yahweh's hand, being a prophet of his hand, you know his actions. He was with Moses in the beginning of his life, all the way to the end. He was with him the entire time. So that lets me know that Yahweh is never, ever, 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 ever going to leave us. Yahweh is never going to leave us. Not even when our dreams are finished will he be done being with us. He will maintain us, and he will maintain with us. He will help us continue to endure. He will help us continue to go. But still, and I'm asking him now, what does that have to do with being the person of your achievements? Being the person that, oh, okay, he's saying I'm missing some places here in my own perception, which is why I can't see it. So what is that I'm missing, Yahweh? He said love and care. Love and care. Well, love is sharing, and care is acceptance. And I know those two things operate dually, where I have to give them in order to receive them, and receive them, receive them in order to give them. It's respect. Moses at the time wasn't someone who was a respectable person because he had a stutter. And God pitted Moses up against the Pharaoh, and he pitted him. He didn't put him up. It wasn't a fair match. He put him in the ground while the Pharaoh was above ground. And he told Moses to fight. So he put him in a position where he was at a disadvantage. And I know Yahweh's hand. He would only do that if Moses did grow. He would only do that if Moses was to grow in that type of situation. This is about allowance. And that's the point that he wants me to come to. This is about allowance. This is about allowing the hardships of your environment to water you. See, me, I am a person that Yahweh loves, mostly because I enjoy the darkness of reality. I enjoy hardships. I enjoy pain. I enjoy problems. I enjoy issues. I enjoy experiencing negativity because it allows me to feel all of the feelings of growth. All of the emotions of growth. It allows me to be able to know exactly what a tree feels when it sprouts up out the ground, when it stretches its roots, when it grows its branches and blossoms its leaves, and even grows its fruit. Yahweh just dug into the dirt of the ethers and pulled up a beautiful plum and said, huh. And I told him, well, that's why I thought I was a tomato, because the plum was there and I couldn't see because it's dark down here. It was soft. I hadn't had plums in a long time, so it's softly firm, but it's softly firm. It's firmly soft. No? Yeah, it firm comes first and then soft. So it was a plum. I grew my fruit early. So anyways, it's about respect. This is about respect and allowance. of your hardship, your pain, your problems, your issues to water you, to grow you, to change you, to help you become the person you want to become. It's about growth. It's about growth and respect. You have to respect others. In order for your dreams to be accomplished, you have to respect the ones, and you do have to give due respect to the ones that push you into motivation, that pulls you out of your environment. You have to respect the ones that push you into inspiration, that grows you into being yourself, your true self in your behavior. You have to accept that if it wasn't for their negativity, you would still be a product of your environment or a product of your circumstances. If it wasn't for their bullshit, you would have never had the thought of, let me get out of here and do something different. Let me be someone different. Let me never be the way that they are. So you have to respect them. And this is how I close out the first chapter of my life. As I am 27 today, I am closing out the chapter of Monique. And I am opening the chapter of Sophia. And with this closeout of the chapter of Monique, I would like to give thanks to everyone that did not give me what I wanted. I would like to give thanks to everyone who withheld from me and who even bullied me or made me angry. Everyone who hates me, I thank you. And I thank you for the point and purpose of I thank you for the point and purpose of your effect. How you affected me enabled me to grow into Sophia. So fear me. It enabled me to become a person who walks into a room and is given respect no matter what. My vibe screams and my aura announces that I am valuable and worthy and shall never be treated like I'm not. If it was not for you guys who were negative to me, I would not have seen my own value, and I would not have seen my own worth, and I would not have seen what was good for me as it pertains to me giving time to others, which is access to my value and my worth. If it wasn't for the unacceptance of me and the life that I live, I wouldn't have thought of knowing or seeing, or I wouldn't have thought of the reason why I am worthy of what you are not giving me. I would not have that awareness in me if it wasn't for everybody that was negative to me, for everybody that caused me sadness, that enabled me to enter into depression. thank you. And this is not coming from a moment of hatred. This is not coming from a moment of anger or envy. This is coming from a moment of gratitude and love and pure allowance. Thank you. Because you guys always remind me of why I am worthy of everything that you refuse to give me. You see it in me, even when I don't. And I thank you guys for your sight that I lack sometimes of myself. A beautiful revelation given by a beautiful hand. A beautiful revelation given from a beautiful hand, the hand of Yahweh. Thank you, thank you, thank you for this revelation. Sometimes you just got to sit and soak in the feeling of beauty. It's a still, quiet feeling that enables a breezy calm. It's like if the emotion or feeling, however you position that to be, if the emotion of calm was the wind, then it would be still and it wouldn't move. We probably wouldn't breathe or be able to. Oh, it's raining. Detroit really got crazy weather. It was just snowing yesterday. Or the day before that. Or something like that. I don't keep up with the weather too much. I just live it. So we have that revelation. We have that here. And Yahweh is like, that's my girl. Back to the business. How does this pertain to achievements, if pertain is the right word? Or being a person of achievements. Yeah, how does it pertain to that? How does the beginning of Moses say he is? Because Yahweh said directly, I have certainly seen the oppression of my people in Egypt. I have heard their cries of distress because of their harsh slave drivers. Yes, I am aware of their suffering. So I have come down to rescue them from the power of the Egyptians and lead them out of Egypt into their own fertile and spacious land. That's where he specifically wants me to stop. We are being led out of Egypt because of our suffering. And I think it has to do something with Egypt. Oh my Lanta. I tell you, the answers are always right in your face. Moses is from Egypt. He's an Egyptian child, not a person of an Israelite, but people liken him to an Israelite so much that we forget that he's he's the child of an Egyptian. He's the child of an Egyptian. And he was raised in the palace. His previous lifestyle said that he is on par to the Pharaoh. He is just like the Pharaoh. He is able to beat them. But because he did that murder for the people of his way, because hold on. Sorry, she's from the tribe of Levi. So he is an Israelite. But he was just raised by the Pharaoh's daughter. So skip all that I said. He's not he's part Egyptian. Like he's raised by the Pharaoh's daughter, and he never knew his mother was a Levi woman. He never knew he was an Israelite. He knew he was an Egyptian. He knew Egyptian. And then he ran away, formed another life, and knew that life. So this is how you know Yahweh was taking care of him, because he lived the Egyptian life first, and then he lived was it Israelites first? Second? Moses escapes to Midian. Where is Midian? Whatever. And then he lived in Midian. And I don't know about the people of Midian. Yahweh, the people of Midian, who do they belong to? They don't belong to me. I wish I had some people. They were the Hittites. So all Moses ever knew was pagan god life. And then he meets this random burning bush that says, I am your true God. And just been believing in him ever since. If that isn't like my story right now today, I don't know what is. I was living my own little life, and I was living a pagan God type life, and I was believing that God pieced himself up in order to better understand his people, or he was the universe being alive and being aware of itself. I wasn't fully Christian or having any Christian feet in the water or toes in the water or any of that. I wasn't on that land. And then I meditated one day. This orb comes either from my body or into my body. I don't know. Because whenever I moved my eyeball, it moved, and then it stationed itself on my altar, which let me know to meditate. Then I meditated, and this man sitting in my meditation house, and he said his name is Yahweh. And then I look it up on and I see the answer on Wikipedia says he's the God of the Bible, and I just been rolling with him ever since. What if he's lying? I know he's not, but still, he could. But I know he won't. I trust him. It's been 7 years. But it's just crazy. It's just crazy because I'm seeing Moses' story, and it's in likeness to mine. I'm seeing Moses' story, and it's in likeness to mine. But then enables the question, did Moses want to be the Pharaoh? Because I feel that energy through my gifts and my abilities whenever I read that. Is that he wanted to be the Pharaoh because that was the easier route. If he could just be the Pharaoh, then the people would listen, he would let them go, and then everything would be settled. But then he would be left behind. So, what you call it? But, what you call it? You have to be the person of your achievements. And Yahweh positioned him to be a leader. and put him in front of the Pharaoh, which showed him what not to be as a leader. So this is the synopsis, this is the story, and this is the way that Yahweh wanted me to go. Do you really think that Yahweh wasn't around guiding your thoughts? Do you think that Yahweh wasn't around manipulating, well, I wouldn't want to say manipulate, but maneuvering situations? Do you really think that he wasn't around Do you really think that he wasn't around? Guiding you towards the right answers in order for you to move down your path so directly, assuredly, correctly, and always right? Do you think that he was not there? Do you think that he still is not there? Because, and I'm going to answer this for you. Before you even answer it for yourself, I'm going to answer this for you. Because included in chapter 3 that he said is the answer, Exodus chapter 3. Included in it, it says, I am who I am. It says, I am who I am. And tell them, I am has sent me to you. And it says, God answered, I will be with you. And this is your sign that I am the one who has sent you. It says, I will be with you. So do you think that he is not? As you are becoming the person of your dreams today. How did you even become aware that they were your dreams? How did you become aware of who you wanted to be? Because you could have took the mundane route. You could have took the regular route, the normal route of just living in your situation. You could just be a person of your circumstances and not a victim of it. Or a person in control of their circumstances. If you are a victim of your circumstances, you are not them, but you are affected by them. So what do you think is truly happening in the long run in your story? Yahweh wants me and everybody to break out of the comparison mindset and believing that everybody gets the same life as you. One life per one person. And no life is the same. That is how he designs earth, and that is how he has designed earth. One life per one person, and no life is the same. Everyone is particular, peculiar, and different. So never assume no thing. Break out and be who Yahweh has designed you to be. Peace, love, and light, and as always, be great.